Today is Saturday, the 17th of August 2019. This is one of a series of videos on the latest release of Health One, version 8.7. The version I'm demonstrating this evening is 8.7.0.2577. In order to see what version of Health One you have, you should click on Help and About, and you'll see over here the version you have. This will be distributed in the next few weeks. This particular video is going to show you some of the changes we've made to the lab request and lab managing systems. Here I have opened a patient file and done a new consultation, and I'm going to click on this button here and do a lab ordering. So I'm just going to order a full blood count for the moment. If you order a full blood count and you do it, you must always click here on the date done or done by. If you do done by nurse, it will automatically tick the date done. You will not be able to analyze it unless you tick the date done. However, if it's the doctor that orders it, for example, he doesn't have to and doesn't do the test himself. If he just clicks OK, Health One will tell you no done date, press OK again to validate. And then when the nurse comes along to do it, she will say done by the nurse, and then it will be OK. So that's the first little change. I have to put in the nurse here. Let's just say it was Nurse Yvonne Burns, and say OK, and the request is in there, and the request is available here to everybody to see. You can see it hasn't been back yet. Here I have some lab tests imported into the waiting area of my DXM, and one of them is for Joan By as a full blood count. If I have a look at this by double clicking on it, you will see here that I have the result there. You will also see, for those of you who don't normally see it, that if I click on hemoglobin, I get all the past hemoglobins there. Whether this is visible or not, I've been in Health One for some time, and it's enacted by a tools options setting. What I want to show you today, what is new and improved, is this button here, which shows you to review or comment. You can do that here. Put a status of, say, viewed, and this is a review status here, and you also have a review comment. So the review comment is different to the item comment that you can also put into the file. So once you do that, and you can make the transaction abnormal if you so wish, click OK, exit that, and integrate it into the patient file. That's all the waiting. Now if I go into Joan Baez's file, you'll see how this looks. So here I have the result back. I have a comment here under lab, which is viewed, and I have viewed, and the view comment is Rory O'Driscoll, and I put in an item comment here as well at the bottom of the file. I can edit this if I so wish at any time and just put in what the review comment is, HB, normal, or whatever I like, ROD. So that would be just a comment on this status, but it's not the same as the comment in the patient file. So we've added this in this version. As you can see from clicking on the lab request, this request has actually been completed. The next thing I'm going to show you some of the new stuff we can do with these. So I can right click on any one of these, and I have three new things. One is to open the patient file, which was existing in a previous version. But this file doesn't exist, so you can't. But if it did exist, if Health One found it, it would. You can also assign this result to another doctor, the doctor responsible. So at the moment, this is the prescriptor, or the doctor responsible is Dr. Rory. I could change that, for example, to Dr. Burney, and then Dr. Burney, if she would come under Dr. Burney's waiting view, and not under Dr. Rory's waiting view. It's just a reassigning it if you wish to reassign it to other people in the practice. these views are simply filters that can be created by going in here and creating a new view, and that's the subject of another video. The next thing I can do by right clicking on it is send a message about this patient. Let's say it was a patient that existed, and if you're integrating a lab result and the patient doesn't exist, it will ask you to select the patient from another that you think belongs to this lab test, or you could create a new patient, which is what I'm doing here. So that if you have right click and send a message, you can send a message to anybody regarding this patient and this result, and I can send it to myself, for example, and this message will go in the normal Health1 messaging to this doctor about this lab result. So to recap, by just right clicking here on any result, I can send a message to another user, I can assign this result to another person, or I can open the file and have a look at it from here directly. So I'm now going to integrate these three results, which haven't been integrated, all of them actually. I'll integrate all of these results into the patient file, so there's nobody waiting now. So if I just go to all items, I'll see them again, and if I just double click on them, I'll open the patient file. So we have here a patient with several lab results in there. Now from here I can click on one or all of these, right click on it on the transaction and flag the result, and I can, in the same way as I did, I can say view, normal, abnormal. I can change the review comment, say HB is normal or something like that. That's just the review comment as opposed to the transaction comment, which you can put into the transaction itself just from here. So as you can see, I put in comments here, that's the item, and I've also put in a status comment, and I've viewed over here. And this is a very good way of checking that your lab results are done and will appear therefore in the lab analysis screen. If I want to analyze my lab results for all my patients, I can click on analysis. This has been there for some time, lab request analysis. But if you put in the request properly, there's no pending request for today, and I just do all items for today. This is just for this period, and I can also say just for any particular doctor in charge, and this is my result on Joan Byers, and there will be hundreds of these there, and you will see whether they've been reviewed, who they were done by, was the patient informed, and stuff like that. And you can export your result to Excel and thereby manage your lab ordering and lab results quite easily. The next thing I want to show you in this video is related to Healthlink as well, which is the Healthlink referrals. So if you do a standard referral in Healthlink, and let's say I want to send this patient to the South Infirmary, dermatology, we can now send attachments such as pictures and stuff with our standard referrals. However, this has not yet been implemented by Healthlink, but will be over various hospitals shortly. But in Health1 we will have this note here to say it does not support attachments at the moment, and if it does, if the hospital does support attachments, you'll see that it does here. And if you want to send in attachments, then you will do it via this screen here, and that is the where you will attach your pictures or whatever else. This is just a general information which will give you a list of all the hospitals that actually do support attachments. So we now have this ability to send attachments with referral letters. However, the function hasn't been implemented yet by Healthlink, and when it is, it will be done piecemeal by hospital, so you won't know whether it accepts attachments until you come here, put in your department, and Health1 will give you a message there. The next thing we've done here is we've added a little item here called referral specialty, so that you know by looking at the transaction where you sent this. Up to now you knew you sent it to Healthlink, but you had to open it up to find out where you sent it. We have a new little item here to say you sent this one, in this particular case, to dermatology. So that is a summary of the changes we've made in version 8.7, which will be distributed shortly, in the Healthlink lab and referrals. There are many other changes which are the subject of other videos. Thank you.